So the time of year is August, and this is my favorite time to actually chase walleyes for a couple reasons. Number one is this is the time of year when they're probably going to eat the most because the water temps are high, their metabolism is high, they have to eat to survive in the hard summer, the highest water temps of the season. Number one, as far as techniques, so what I'm going to start looking for or using, and then we'll talk about what I'm going to look for on the lake when I'm fishing. There's really only three things that I use when I'm summertime fishing walleyes. Number one is some type of Jig Plastic. Based on the water depth that you're fishing, most of these fish are going to be probably anywhere from 15 feet, probably down to 30 feet, somewhere in that column, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But starting off with a jig and a minnow, something that's a plastic minnow. Something that I can fish very fast, see if the aggressive fish will come out of a school to eat. If I don't get a bite on something like this right away off the bat, I'm going to then switch to probably just something live bait. You know, simple jig, jig and a crawler, jig and a leech. I generally don't use a jig and a minnow this time of year. We'll save those for the fall. But jig and a leech, jig and a crawler, throw this to the fish you're looking at. If they don't eat this, you don't leave them. There's only one other bait that I generally throw at them, and it's the most aggressive style bait, and that's going to be something like this iGlide from Salmo. It's a glide bait that walks the dog underwater. It's very heavy, you can fish it very fast. It gives you a reason to get this school fired up if you fire something like this down there. So never leave a spot until you use one of these three things. So the next thing I want to talk about is location. In the summer months, most of the lakes are going to set up with what we call a thermocline. A thermocline is where the water temp changes drastically somewhere in the water column. Let's say we'll set up a thermocline at 20 feet in the water column. Everything below 20 feet is going to be cold water, less oxygen. Everything above it's going to be warm water with oxygen. So all your game fish, your bait fish, and everything in the system is going to be at that thermocline or above. Do not fish below it. You're just going to be wasting your time. Let's say, for example, that thermocline is at 20 feet. I'm going to then take that 20-foot mark and I'm going to run it right into the structure I want to fish. And at that 20-foot mark is where I'm going to start fishing that structure. From there, shallower. So you got to establish thermocline, where it's at in the water column. Even if you don't, maybe you don't have thermocline, then you can fish basically any depth. But this time of year, you definitely want to pay attention to that. So how do you find where that thermocline is at in the system you're fishing? On your 2D sonar, what you want to do is idle out into the middle of the lake and just start increasing your sensitivity. What you're going to end up seeing is a real dark streak across the middle of your screen as you put the gain to it and increase sensitivity. That's your thermocline. So if you can crank that sensitivity all the way up and you don't see any of that big black streak across the middle of your screen, you don't have a thermocline. So then you're able to fish pretty much the entire water column. Being in August, everybody should be catching the most fish they can all year because their metabolism's high, they have to eat. And the reason a lot of people aren't successful is they still fish a lot of shoreline structure. As the water temps increase, a lot of these fish will pull off the shoreline and start using these underwater humps and long bars that stick out in the middle of the lake. I'm looking for a lot of that type of stuff surrounded by deep water. That's where those fish are going to be in August. So eliminate that springtime areas you've been looking up shallow and start moving offshore to the humps and the long bars that stick way out in the lake. That's where you're going to contact a lot of those walleyes. So there's a couple ways I like to bring my presentation to these fish with the jig and a night crawler. And I'll try different ways. With the forward-facing sonar, we can get the reaction and see in real time of actually what these fish want. But number one, when I start throwing at a group of fish that are schooled up, is I tend to want to cast past the fish and then bring it back through them. That way you eliminate a lot of the spooking that could happen. If you drop a jig right on top of their head, there's a pretty good chance they might spook. So I like to cast past them. And then the first retrieve I have with my jig and night crawler is just a simple retrieve, just straight. I don't jig the rod, I don't do anything. I'm watching the lure come through the fish. I'm basically bringing it almost on top of their head. And I'm just a steady retrieve. If they start following it, you keep that retrieve, don't change anything. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. If they like it, you can continue to do that. If they don't get a reaction from that straight retrieve, the next cast is going to be past the fish. let it go down to them, get it about 2-3 feet above their head, and just start slowly jigging it as you're retrieving it. Just giving it a nice swimming action above their head. And you want those fish to see it, turn on it, and then commit to it. As they're chasing it up, you want to bring it up a little bit just to see like that fish is, that bait's getting away from them and they want to eat it. So those are really the two techniques that I use with a jig and a night crawler. One is a straight retrieve, the other one's a jigging swimming type presentation above their head. So I always try those two and figure out what the fish want that day.